Hello everyone. Welcome to Sriram's IAS. Myself Shri Shankri Alaish by Ignatius. So we are connected for our last session of Environment NCERT. Today we'll be completing that the class 12th NCERT. Along with that, we'll also see the question sessions. Okay, so both has to be there, right? So first we'll complete the yesterday's leftover portions of chapter. I hope this is 11th, I think, of the NCERT, class 12, the biology NCERT. Okay, so chapter 11, you'll be finding these things. Yes, so we were here. I told that this particular part is very important. What and all you have to learn. So I'll start from that. Generally, they have started with predation. I also said, I think we have started this, right? So we said that predation means that the one which has happened to eat the other, that is called predation. So not only animals predate, but plants also do predate, right? Fungi also do predate. So there are different groups of organisms. And we already discussed about the kingdom. I hope you remember that. We note in the side that kingdom, you leave Munira. Then there is another thing called as fungi. Fungi also predate. There is a group of organisms, predatory fungis, which are existing in the world, and they do predate on the, small insects. They try to kill them. So it's also kind of predation only. It's prevailing in the kingdom fungi. Then comes to the, protista, kingdom protista, right? Protista, they also predate. Few of the organisms, few classification under Protista also do predations. Then comes the next kingdom, that is kingdom Plantae. Kingdom plants. Plantae, that is plants. In that also few group of plants, especially the insectivorous plants do depend on animals, that is the insects, for their nutritions. So they also predate the kingdom Plantae. Then kingdom Animalae, we all know that they are very famous for predation only. So Animalae, because they don't know to prepare their own food, so they either they predate on other organisms, that is kill them and eat, or they will live as a parasite on the other organisms. Okay, in this way, or they will eat the detritus matter. So they can be either decomposer, or they can be a predator, or they can be a parasite, but they cannot produce their own food, right? So this way, all the other four kingdoms can predate, except the bacteria, because bacteria so far we have not known that there is a predatory organism in a bacteria kingdom. They can be a parasite, but they cannot be a predator. So yes, now we'll move along in the predation. What and all we have to study. As you can see this, the examples are very important with respect to these kind of interactions which is happening. Okay. So as you can see, they have given small, very simple examples here as the tiger and the deer. Anna, this only comes into our mind when we are thinking about predation. That means tiger killing or hunting down a deer, tiger hunting down a group of ungulates, that is cattles. So this way only where our ox or buffalo, this way only the picture comes to our mind. Even a sparrow eating a seed is also a predator only. They are saying like that. As not only the seed, but if you take cattle feeding on grasses or feeding on trees and plants is also a predator. Okay, so they are just completely, pulling them out, uprooting them, and they are consuming it. Right. So this we can go to the next as. Yes, come to this place. But for predators, prey species could achieve very high population density and it will cause ecosystem instability. So predation should be there in order to maintain ecosystem stability. That's what they have given here. And when a certain exotic species are introduced into a geographical area, they will become invasive and they also start spreading fast because the invaded land does not have its natural predators. That's the main reason. So suppose sometimes they may ask this, why an invasive species? Even last year there was a question related to invasive species connecting IUCN. Okay. So year-wise classification also we already discussed, like when we are doing question discussion, I have already disclosed that information, how they connected, because IUCN was expected in the year-wise classification. They took the invasive species specialist group of IUCN And then they asked a question. So invasive species, nowadays a lot of articles are also appearing related to invasive species because they are threatened to a country's biodiversity and also leading to drought and everything is connected. All the phenomena, the climate change is also connected here. So if I say that why invasive species, if suppose some species which is coming from outside is not, it's spreading vastly, it's completely occupying the entire area, stealing the resources which belongs to the native species. What is the reason? The reason is that the main reason is this only. So please note it. Anytime in the future they may ask a question. So it means that they do not have a natural predator. That is the main reason. They invade the area and they spread. On the other hand, the native species have a predator. So only few will survive, others will die. But in this case, there is no natural predator. That's why they have given this example, the prickly pear cactus. And then when it was introduced, it started spreading completely. And that invasive cactus was brought under the control after only a cactus feeding predator, that is a moth, was introduced into the country. From its natural habitat was introduced into the country. Okay, so they have given an example like that. And then come to this area. See this. This we have not seen yesterday. I hope so. We have discussed till this. As if predator is too efficient and overexploits its prey, then prey might become extinct and fall. This happens. So the predator will also become extinct for lack of food. So this happens. That's like a chain it occurs. That's the reason why predators in the nature are prudent. The prey species have evolved various defenses to lessen the impact of predation. So that one such defense is camouflaged. They camouflage themselves. For example, forest giraffe, they do look like a tree itself. So that's a kind of camouflage. Even tiger is a master of camouflage. Snow leopard is a master of camouflage. For hunting, they do camouflage. They do not have predator. For hunting purpose, they do. Because since the prey has become very smart, they are opting for a camouflage. The predator also undergoes camouflage. So camouflage is a kind of adaptation only. So again, this is connected with the adaptation unit. There you will be studying about camouflage. Okay, mainly the prey do camouflage in order to escape from the predator. Okay, to escape from predator. And predator do camouflage mainly to hide from the prey. That's a relation. Okay, predator also undergoes camouflage to hide from prey. This way you have to know the reason. And as you can see this is one example they have given. Please read the example. Today by accidentally I was reading a statement in one of the book and while I'm framing questions from the NCERTs. And I saw that as of that statement has been lifted like that, and they have asked a question in 1 year, like related to pollination. I was just connecting it to the adaptation, interaction topics only, but that was given as a casual statement in one of the book of NCERT, and that was lifted as such and was asked as a question. So every statement you can read once. Okay, there is nothing wrong in reading the statement related to the NCERTs. It's better you read it. And if you find something interesting, mark it and then keep it in mind. So the monarch butterfly, if you see, it becomes very distasteful. It's not tasteful when someone comes and eat the butterfly, the predator, like a bird. Because what is the reason it becomes distasteful? That the chemical which is present in its body makes it distasteful. So the bird will not eat again. The reason is that this chemical is synthesized when it is in the caterpillar stage by feeding a poisonous weed. Okay, so this way they have given certain examples. And come to the next point. We are asking questions nowadays. The questions which are coming in the UPSC are in this pattern. Reasoning type of questions are appearing in your preliminary exams. That is why this paragraphs and all is important. And if you see that there is a question, okay, you are saying that animals, when in order to escape a predator, they are trying to use certain tactics like camouflaging themselves so that they can hide in the environment. So what will happen to a plant? Can plant do anything in order to escape from a predator that's a herbivorous animal which feeds on them? What they will do? So for that question, they have given a simple answer. As you can see, the plants cannot run or move away from that place. But what they can do, they can secrete certain enzymes, certain chemicals, certain adaptations they also will undergo, like developing thorns in the leaves. Okay, so this way, so even certain enzymes which gives itching feeling to the animals when they feed on it, or sometimes even it is very dangerous. After the animal feed on it, it will die, so they will never go near it. So this way, these are some of the adaptations which you can see in the plants. That was given here. You can read it. So they have given certain examples also for that. See this, many plants will produce chemicals which make a herbivore sick, and it will also make indigestion, not able to feed on it again, or even reproduction will be completely blocked, or even it will kill the animal. So calotropis, which is growing in the abundant field, so this is highly poisonous weed, we can say, and that's why this animals will never go near this kind of plant. Okay, same way, let us go to the next, or even this secrete a psychotic substances. Okay, so that the animal will not be in a balanced state, so they never go near it. Come to the competition. So that is something called as predation. Now, what is competition? How we can? What are the things which we have to see in the competition? As you can see, this see, competition can happen in two cases. One is interspecific competition, another is intraspecific competition. That's what they have given here. Interspecific and intraspecific competition. So you have to read this. Interspecific competition means which is taking place between two different species. Okay. See, for that only they have given an example. For instance, in some shallow South American lake, flamingos, which used to visit, no, flamingos are mainly migratory birds, and resident fishes, which belongs to that lake itself. Fishes also eat the same phytoplanktons, sorry, zooplanktons, and the flamingos also use the same zooplankton. No, zooplankton is a small, minute animal or organisms which is present in the oceans. If it is phytoplankton, it is a plant. Okay, but it's a producer of the marine body. But zooplanktons are the small microorganisms which are present. So this fishes which belongs to that particular lake also feeds on it. Flamingos which comes from different place also feeds on it. So there is a competition. Flamingo is totally a different species. Fish is totally a different species. This is called as interspecific competition, and this they have mentioned there. So they said that interspecific competition is very, very dangerous, and they are competing for resources. For what what is called competition, they will compete for the resource. Either it can be a food, either it can be a water, or sometimes it can be for sunlight, nutrition. In this way, it can go on. If it is a plant, the plants will fight for sunlight. Okay, places, location, habitat. For that, they will be fighting. So this way, they have given certain examples. You can read all these things, but don't go in depth. See this. Um, yes. Come to the next statement. So they have defined that competition means in which fitness of one species is significantly lower in the presence of another species. This way, they have given certain definition also. Then come to the next one. See this. This and all not required. Don't go in depth and read it. Come to the another thing is that intra-specific. Like interspecific, there is intra-specific, that is which happens between the same species. But what happens here? There is definitely resource partitioning. They are saying that instead of killing themselves, at least the interspecific will lead to extinction of the species. That is, if one species is keep on increasing in numbers, that is why they have given another example also. See that the Abingdon tortoise in Galapagos Island became extinct within a decade after goats were introduced on the island. So this is also a competition because browsing efficiency of the goat was greater. The Abingdon tortoise also used to eat plants. The goats also used to feed the same plants only. So now what happens? There was a competition for food. But what happened? Goat has become enormous in number, and Abingdon tortoise cannot compete with them, so they became extinct. So what they are coming to say is that this is the thing which you have to note it. See this interspecific competition. No, this interspecific competition will lead to extinction of species. That is why I said it is very dangerous. Extinction may happen, but in case of intraspecific, it's not the case. As you can see this, that they will go for resource partitioning. We call this as resource partitioning, or specialization can occur. Specialization, okay? So specialization or resource partitioning. So that is what is written here. As you can see that if two species compete for the same resource, and So there is no example which is mentioned here, but you can see there is a bird called warbler which feeds on insects. If warbler which used to be in a tree, if it is feeding on an insect, they try to segregate their time, the behavioral pattern. As four kinds of warblers used to live in the same kind of tree, four varieties of warblers, but they will never fight for the resources because of the behavioral pattern. So that is something called as resource partitioning. Same way, even I can say, you can also mention another example here, like the Anole lizard. It's a very popular example for specialization, because the lizard, which is a wild lizard which used to live in the trees. So when the fight has started for resources, there occurred specialization within the lizard itself. So one is called green anole, another is called as ground anole. Green anole used to live on the tree, and ground anole, which is brown in color, used to live on the land. So this way they try to partition the resources. So this is something called as the competition. And parasitism you have to read. So in the parasitism, what and all it's important. As you can see this, these are some description about the parasitism. If the host, the parasite will always be with the host. In case of parasitism, they will never kill. That was given here. You can see this. They will evolve along with the host. Whatever the host try to remove this parasite also will try to adapt new mechanisms in order to live along with the host. That way it's very interesting relation. And you can see that parasites are there in every group of organisms. The parasites is there. Even a plant can be a parasite. So it is given here. See, as that so this and all is not regular. This is in depth. Don't read this much in a depth. As you can see, the liver fluke parasite depends on two intermediate hosts, a snail and a fish, to complete its life cycle, and it enters the human. Okay, so this way there is vector which can bring that particular parasite to a host. Okay, same way only the mosquitoes which is spreading that the fevers, dengues, all these things. So it is a vector only. So the virus comes and it lives in the host body. Then see this. Even a plant can be a parasite. For that only they have given cascata, a parasitic plant that is commonly found growing on the hedge. So if there is any example given here, please mark it. You read the complete topic. Inside, if you find any examples by mentioning any plant or any animal they have given as example, mark it and then read it. Okay. So in exams, they are asking like that only. So this cascata has lost its chlorophyll and the leaves in the color of, course of evolution. So it derives its nutrition from the host plant, which it parasites. So it go and creep over the plant and then it remove the nutrition from the plant. So cascata is a parasitic plant. Okay. Right. Then there is two kind of parasite which they have said, endoparasite and ectoparasite. Ectoparasite will live outside the body of the host. Like for example, cascata, which is living outside the plant, but it creeps all over the plant and steals its nourishment. But what is endoparasite? Endoparasite means which lives within the body of the host. Okay, even for human, I can tell about lice, which is living in the head of the human. Ticks, which is living over the dogs and cattle, you can find ticks. Fleas, all these are ectoparasite. It is living outside. But endoparasites will live inside the host, and that's what they have given, like liver fluke and kidneys, lungs, red blood cells. You will find endoparasites. Even in our stomach, we are having endoparasites. So this is something called as parasitism, ecto and endo. Semi-brood parasitism is another kind of. So far, no question has been come from this brood parasitism. Anytime they may ask. So here, mainly birds practice brood parasitism. Why they do it? As in which the parasitic bird lays its egg in the nest of its host and lets the host incubate them. They will not sit over the eggs. They will not waste time. What they will do, they will go and they cannot build a nest also. So they will go and lay the eggs on the nest which is built by the other birds. One biggest example for that is cuckoo bird. Cuckoo which used to lay eggs on the crow's nest. Okay, so birds used to make nest when they lay eggs, but this cuckoo will never do it. So it will go and lay the eggs on the crow's nest, and then the crow will hatch the cuckoo's egg. And what the interesting fact is that the cuckoo will push down the crow's eggs also sometimes. So this is a kind of brood parasitism which is followed in the birds. So anytime they may ask this as a question also. Right. Then come to commensalism. Very often questions comes from this particular topic. From the parasitism, very few questions have so far occurred, but anytime there might be a question. So you even in the parasite, you can write a plant can be a parasite near that. Animal also can be a parasite. Okay. Even a protist can be a parasite. And even bacteria can be a parasite. But the fungi, we have never heard about a parasitic fungi. Uh, might be there is a parasitic fungi. You can also just refer that. Okay, but this four there are parasites, including a plant. Like for example, we are given cascata, and animal. There are a lot of examples. Then come to this particular commensalism. Commensalism, very often you will be getting questions. For that, they see this. That means one gets the benefit, another does not get harm. So, if there are two species, one will get benefit, other is not harmed at all. That is called commensalism. For that, they have given example like an orchid growing on as an epiphyte on a mango branch. Epiphytes are plants which do not harm the plant where they are growing. So, they will only need the support of the plant for access to sunlight. Right? They cannot. They do not have proper roots, so they can grow everywhere. Since if they are in the floor of the forest, they do not get access to sunlight. They grow over the branches of trees that are called epiphytes. So an orchid is a epiphyte which is growing on a mango branch. A barnacle growing on the back of a whale will benefit from the whale, but the whale does not get any benefit. Okay. So the cattle egret, similarly, this is one example. Two example. When you see some examples below the topics, respective topics, put one, number two, and then read it again and again. Then the cattle egret and the grazing cattle. This is another example. This is already asked. The epiphytes also now and then they are asking every time epiphytes 2-3 times questions has come from epiphytes in your UPSC. So the cattle egret and grazing cattle, instead of asking cattle egret, they asked myna. Myna also, like cattle egret, they will always follow the cattle. They will live close association with the cattle to catch those insects which fly. Okay, when the cattle is moving, see this, the cattle are grazing because as they move, they stir up and flush out insects, and this will be eaten by the cattle egret. And another example they are given for commensalism is the interaction between a sea anemone that has stinging tentacles and the clownfish that lives among them. This is another example you can take. Sea anemone, both are animal only. Sea anemone and a clownfish, both are animal. Clownfish is a fish. Sea anemone belongs to Cnidarian group. So, of the animal kingdom. So, they both live together, but sea anemone do not get any benefit, but clownfish get benefit because of the sea anemone. Sea anemone has stinging tentacles, so they get benefit from that, right? Then comes to the mutualism concept. Mutualism means both will get benefit. Both the species will get benefit from one another. See, this best example is lichens. This is first example here. How? Where a fungi and a blue green algae is going to live together. So here, the algae and the fungi which are in relationship, fungi will derive the nutrients from the environment, algae will produce the food. Algae will produce the food. This way, they are given the explanation also. Mutualistic relationship between a fungi and a algae, that is a cyanobacteria. Algae or it can be a cyanobacteria. Please note it. So far, when UPSC has asked this question in 2014, at that time there was no proper explanation for this topic. They used to give even mutualism is a relationship between option 1, 2, 3, 4. In that two options they gave the right option. One is a relationship between fungi and an algae they gave, and another fungi and a that is bacteria. They said fungi and a bacteria is a wrong answer. Fungi and algae only is the right answer. But now the cyanobacteria is not an algae. It does not belong to plant kingdom. Algae belong to plant kingdom, but cyanobacteria does not belong to kingdom Plantae. Okay, they do not belong to plant kingdom. The cyanobacteria belongs to bacteria, Munira, kingdom Munira. So it is a bacteria. So if they are giving next time lichens, an association between algae and a bacteria, then also it's right. That is specifically cyanobacteria only, not all bacteria. Cyanobacteria. So mycorrhizae, this also already asked in UPSC. Long time back, twice they have asked this question. Before 10 years. Before 10 years back, They have asked this question. Anytime there might be a possibility of asking it again. So this is an association between fungi and the roots of higher plants. That way you have to say. So they are telling that how fungi is helping in absorption of nutrients and the plant is providing fungi with the food. Both will exchange benefit. So here there is another examples also they are giving. Plant animal relationship, definitely it's a relationship for mutualism only, right? Because plants need the help of animals for pollinating their flower and dispersing their seeds. This is also an example of mutualism only. So here they went further and asked a question in UPSC, which of the below are the pollinating agents? But that was already discussed in some other book also, in the 12th NCERT, I think they have discussed somewhere, right? We'll go when we are going there, I will tell you. Then come to this particular part. See this. They are giving how they are exchanging benefit each other. So you can read it now. Yes. See this pollination in fig, especially this is something a very deep relationship which is there between a fig tree and a wasp. That particular wasp can only pollinate that particular fig. So there should be always a relationship between them. This is called as pollinating partners. Okay, so they cannot go and pollinate other fig, and that fig cannot allow other wasp to come inside because depending on the hole size and all, only that particular wasp can pollinate the particular fig. Okay, so this is something very interesting relationship, right? Then how they get benefit from each other, that is given here. You can write this also as an example. You can note it. Then come to this particular place. This is something called as pseudo copulate. The name they have given. See this. So so far no question paper this has appeared. Anytime there might be a possibility. See, the pollinating insect, bees, bumblebees, these are very, very good example. We already know about it. So there is an orchid which is in the name of Ophrys. Okay, so Ophrys or Ophrys. This is a Mediterranean orchid. They do sexual deceit. They will cheat the pollinators. What they will do? They will turn their petal in the form of bumblebee. Oh no! So this looks female bumblebee bees bee appearance. It has a female bumblebee appearance. And what happens is bumblebee is attracted towards this petal. They think that it's a female bumblebee and they come for, mating. And in meantime, what happens? The pollen gets stick to it. They do not give honey. They do not provide honey. Only pollen is sticking to the bee. So this way they are doing sexual deceit. Okay. So this is something we call as pseudo copulate. Right. Yes, come. That's it. This over. So next chapter, what and all you have to read in the next, I'll tell you. So here, sometimes they're giving very elaborate. So don't go in depth. As you can see, you can cross all these things. Come to this particular part. The ecosystem. Already we have defined. We have seen the definition for ecosystem. Everything we have done. No. So now come to this particular. The energy flow, nutrient cycling also we have done, productivity, decomposition. But here they will be given in an elaborate manner. So come to the productivity. See this, a bit description. You can just read it once. And here you may find certain information. So also for the respect to the, see this, the bacteria. Yes. They are giving the autotrophic components. Includes a phytoplankton, some algae, and the floating and submerged marginal plants found at the edges. See, although there is no sufficient examples and so all those things are not included inside, this topics you can take. You can prepare a note for autotrophs. Which of the following can be autotrophs in the terrestrial environment? Which of the organisms can be autotrophs in the marine environment? That way you can prepare a note. Okay. And decomposers, as I told, decomposers and scavengers, detritivores, and then you can also make a note about autotrophs. Here only they are asking from examples. Often the questions are repeating, so you have to be careful. Then come to this general description only. Come to the productivity. The primary production is done by the plants and certain kinds of bacteria and algae. Algae is also plants, so you need not discuss about. No need to see these things and all. Come to decomposition. Here they have given definition for each and every. See this, decomposers. What is decomposition? They have said what is decomposition. So they break the complex organic matter into inorganic substances like carbon dioxide, water, nutrients, and this process is called decomposition. Okay, so that is said here. And come to this the dead plant remains such as leaves, bark, flowers, and the dead remains of animals, including the fecal matter, all are called as detritus. So first of all, you should know what is detritus. Detritus means not only the dead animals, but the fecal matter also is included in the detritus. So you can put a equal to, then you write dead matters. Dead matters means dead plants, dead animals. So plants plus animals. Then you can write plus the fecal matter of animals, fecal matter. Okay. So this includes the detritus. You should know that. So then you will know the decomposition definition. Then the steps which is involved in the decomposition may be fragmentation, leaching, catabolism, mineralization. This it differentiates. But this much is enough. If you want, you can give a reading for these things. Okay. So that much specialized knowledge is not required here. Come to this. See this. They are given an example of decomposition cycle. Okay, how a leaf which is falling and then it is eaten and by the dead leaves which is eaten by that earthworms like this organisms, and even the fungi which is responsible for breaking down this. Okay, and further decomposition is done by the earthworms. So like that they have said. So this way you can say that how the decomposition cycle. You can read. You can read this cycle. It's a very simple cycle only. Come to this. See this, the humus. We are telling humus there and there. The soil contains humus. Accumulation of a dark colored amorphous substance called humus. That is, so from here you can read humification. So in the process of humification only humus will be remaining. That is highly resistant to the microbial action and it undergoes decomposition at an extremely slow rate. That is why we call that as a humus. Okay. So it is undergoing decomposition, but it takes place in a very slow rate. That's why it is called as humus. Right. Now come to this this particular point. See, this was asked in the last year question paper. They connected this particular specific point and they asked a question that from the tropical rainforest, they connected tropical rainforest. They said why in the tropical rainforest, there was a statement and there was a reason for it. The tropical rainforest, decomposition rate is faster. The reason is, the second statement was related to the reason. So from here you have to understand it's largely an oxygen requiring process. Decomposition means. So the rate of decomposition is controlled by chemical composition of detritus and the climatic factors. So it depends on the detritus. What is there? Whether the plant is dead or an animal is dead, and the climatic factors both will play a role. Specifically, the climatic factors is very important. So in a particular climatic condition, decomposition rate is slower if detritus is rich in lignin and chitin, and quicker if detritus is rich in nitrogen and water soluble substance like sugars. So temperature and soil moisture are the most important climatic factors that regulate the decomposition through their effects on the activities of soil microbes. So warm and moist environment. See this, warm and moist. So that is why warm and moist climate condition you will feel in tropical rainforest. So that is the main reason for faster rate of decomposition. That is right. That statement was right. If you have read the statement, you would have definitely know how to connect with that equatorial forest, which we are also studying. It is warm and moist type of environment and rainfall throughout the year. So humidity is high and it is also equally hot. That is warm and moist, and the decomposition is very fast. But in case of low temperature, the decomposition will be very slow. Okay, low temperature and when the moistness is also less, the decomposition is very slow. So this way you have to read the statement by statement. Sometimes there is some formulas, in-depth knowledge, that you can skip it. But these types of fact-oriented statements, you have to keep a reading. Okay, so some things I might have missed when I'm telling you here. Because there is no sufficient times, we have very less time, so we cannot read statement by statement. But you have to do on your own. So most highlighting points I'll be giving, but instead that you have to read, especially the 12th classes NCERT. Stay line by line you can read. If it is in depth and it is unnecessarily they're discussing a lot of information, please avoid it and skip it. Come to the energy flow. as you can see this here, how the energy is flowing. So here they're talking about, see this photosynthetically active radiation, solar radiation, less than this and all, in very much elaborately they are discussing. Okay, just you can read it, but no need to study continuously. So come to the next point. The green plant in the ecosystem are called producers. And terrestrial ecosystem major producers are herbaceous and woody plants. Likewise, producers in aquatic ecosystem are various species like phytoplankton, algae, and higher plants. Okay, so the phytoplanktons are can be an algae. Okay, smaller plants. They are called phytoplanktons. Then here they're talking about consumers, and then they're talking about herbivores. Just to give a reading of that, all are definitions only. Then primary carnivore, secondary carnivore, what it means that they are discussing here. So it is now they are coming to grazing food chain. Okay, so grazing food chain and the detritus food chain. As you can see, the detritus food chain, already we have discussed all these things. Begins with dead organic matter. It's made up of decomposers, which are heterotrophic organisms, mainly fungi and bacteria. You can also add protists. Protists also a decomposer. From this kingdom also we have a decomposer. Okay, so then see this, they meet their energy and nutrition requirement by degrading dead organic matter or detritus. You know what is detritus? Already we have seen. These are also known as saprotrophs. The decomposers are otherwise called as saprotroph. Okay, decomposers secrete digestive enzymes that break dead and waste material into simple inorganic material which are subsequently absorbed by them. Already UPSC has asked this question. They have given three options for you. The fungi, bacteria and virus. They gave like this. And they asked which of the below are saprotrophs, decomposers. The question was like that. So everybody thought even virus is also decomposer. Be careful. Virus cannot be a decomposer. Even it is not considered as a living organism itself. But fungi and bacteria is a very popular known example of decomposers. Sometimes again the same question may get repeated with another option with protista. In protista also there are certain group of organisms which are living as a decomposer. Okay. So then come to this particular point. The yes. Come to this food web. So again, already we have known what is meant by food web. The interconnection of food chains makes a food web. So organisms which is occupying a place in the natural surroundings, like feeding relationship with other organisms, food based on their relationship with the nutrition of food, organisms occupy a specific place in the food chain, and this is known as trophic level. This is a definition for trophic level. All those definitions, please give a reading. Don't miss it. Then producers belong to the first trophic level, herbivores, that is primary consumer belongs to the secondary trophic level. See this diagram, you can easily understand. Since all these topics we have already did, only extra addition we are doing it, I am going in the fast manner, okay? So you can see the producer, then comes primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. So the tertiary consumer can also be apex predator, I can say, apex predator. Okay, so this is primary consumer. He can be he occupies a secondary trophic level always. He can be always a herbivore, but it need not necessary that he should be only a herbivore. Can also be an omnivore who can eat everything. Omnivore can eat plant also, animal also, sometimes dead organisms also. Okay, for example, you take a bear. Bear will eat plant product, honey. Okay, it will also eat the dead matter. So it is also an omnivore kind of organisms only. So there are certain organisms which can eat anything they find. Plants also, animals also, living animals also, if they do not have food. And dead organisms also they will be eating. So the third trophic level is consisting of the carnivore, and it can be even a primary carnivore sometimes. Then even there can be secondary carnivore, and then even there can be top carnivore. So at most there can be 5 levels. But in this case, they have described 4 levels. Okay, so more than 5 levels, there will be no transfer of energy which will take place. This way, they are talking about the trophic levels and the energy flow. Then here comes the ecosystem. Already we have seen the definition of ecosystem. Now see the definition of standing crop. That is what is called as standing crop. That means what? How we are going to measure the biomass. Since there is in the ecosystem, we have already discussed about what is ecosystem. Come to the energy rule. This is the 10% energy law or energy rule which we say in ecosystem, which is connected to the trophic level. So the number of trophic levels in the grazing food chain is restricted as this per this law only. This law or this rule only, this is restricted. I told no, maximum 4 levels or 5 levels. Why it is restricted like that? Because after that there will be no transfer of energy can take place. So that is why we are saying this is as per the 10% law or 10% rule. This is moving, right? And here, as you can see, the energy is transferred to each trophic level from the lower trophic level, right? So this they have described. You can just give a reading. And you can see this diagram. It's also beautifully explained there. How the energy flows. From the sun, the plants are producing the sun is taken inside. The radiation from the sun is used by the plants to prepare the food. So carbohydrates. And now when this plant prepares the food, the plant leaves are eaten by this caterpillar. Right. So now it becomes the herbivore. The first trophic level is an autotroph, that is a plant. Second trophic level is the herbivore. Then this caterpillar is taken by a bird. So this can be a third trophic level and it can be a carnivore. Then comes the eagle. Eagle can be the fourth trophic level. Okay, so the eagle is a top carnivore here. Sometimes this caterpillar, this plant can also be eaten by when the dead leaves of the plant can be taken by millipedes. Millipedes is a detritivores. Okay, millipede is not a decomposer. It's a we call this as a detritivore. Millipedes, snakes, snails, all these are detritivores only. Okay, so what they do consume, they engulf a bit of dead matter, they will digest inside their body. But what is the difference between decomposer? Decomposer will secrete an enzyme outside, then they will do extracellular digestion and then absorb the nutrients. Okay, so this way they are giving, this is a food web. Okay, so how the energy is flowing and how the heat is released out. They have given a diagram for that. Then come to ecological pyramid. So far, no question has been asked in ecological pyramid, but for your own satisfaction, you can read it. So if you're going to read, you can read the pyramid of numbers. Okay, the pyramid of energies and pyramid of biomass. This is pyramid of biomass and this is pyramid of biomass only, this inverted, but come to this is energy. Energy pyramid will always be in the upright position only. It will not get inverted at all. Okay, so always the producer will have utmost energy. Then as the level goes up and up and up, the energy will decreases. That is why this is producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. He will get only 10 joules of energy. But if there is another level, if we are considering for 5 level food chain, let us take, this will be the producer, this will be the primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, then comes apex predator, we can give a name like that, and he will get only 10% of this particular 10 joule of energy will be passed to him. 0.1 joule will be given to him. So that way only he is going to get benefit. So after that, there is nothing to get in energy. So that's why very rarely the 5th level will be there, but mostly the 4 levels only will be there in the food chain. So this you have to read it, and they have given explanation for that. Okay. How can you work out how many trophic levels human beings function at in a food chain like this? They are asking certain questions and giving an example answers also for you. And here they are given that pyramid of energy is always upright and can never be inverted, because when energy flows from a particular trophic level to the next trophic level, some energy is always lost as heat. Each bar in the energy pyramid indicates the amount of energy. Okay, so this they have given. Come to the so even they have explained about the number and biomass. They can be straight, they can be upright. Okay, that way you can read and then know. Already you have a lot of notes related to these things, huh? So you can also give one more reading in this book. From this book, you can also read that content. Now, come to the next chapter. This is chapter number 13. Okay, in the biology book. Chapter 11 we have done. Chapter 12 we have done. Chapter 13. So, I already told you 12th NCERT. That is also in the biology. When you are reading the environment section, read line by line. That is not necessary. Don't skip everything. Jump from here and there. Don't do it. Read line by line. If there is in-depth information which you cannot understand, sometimes they are connecting the relationship, formulas they are using, then all you can skip and go. Come to this particular part, biodiversity. Already we have defined in various ways the biodiversity, what is meant by biodiversity, everything. So here also the same thing was given, but they have given in a very structured format. As you can see that they are talking about the 3 levels of biodiversity, like genetic, species diversity means what, ecological diversity means what, like that they are discussing here. Okay. So for that they also given an example. One plant they took, it is a vomitoria, Rafflesia vomitoria, which is growing in Himalayan ranges. based on the location, there is a variation in the plant. Okay, so there is 50,000 genetically different strains of rice we are seeing, and even 1,000 varieties of mango we are having. All these are called as genetic variation only, gene variations inside the one name called mango. Same way, humans are looking different. Each one is looking different. That means everyone is unique with their genes. That is called genetic diversity. But species diversity is not like that. That means humans and monkeys, two different species. Okay, dogs, cats, tigers, three different species. That is called species diversity. Ecological diversity means it is the places, diverse places we are seeing. Forest, grasslands, desert, all these are ecological diversity. That is given here. They have explained here, read it. Then, so far they have not asked anything related to ecological species and the genetic diversity. If so, they are asking, you should know how to face it. That is why. Okay, then come to this part. See, they have given the data that how many invertebrates, fat vertebrates are present in our country. So, more or less, no, there is no changes. Even if you want to look for that particular specific information, you just go and type, and in the internet you will find that very recent relevant data related to the number of species which is present in India will be published by any international bodies. You can refer that. So generally you can refer, this most often they will never change. If you see the there might be a possibility when we are taking vertebrate means those with the vertebral column, that is spinal cord, we are erect. Okay, so we have a bone. Same way, that's called vertebrate. Even fishes are called vertebrates only because they are having bone. Okay, so these vertebrates, in the vertebrates, most you see around 50% we are having fishes only. Okay, in the biodiversity we are having 50% of fishes. Same way, and that's how it is represented. See this mammals, okay, and amphibians, they are of equal level only. Then birds, reptiles. So if they are asking to arrange that in the percentage level, try to arrange in the descending order, that how the vertebrates are located, or how much number of vertebrates we do have possess in our country. Then we have to put fishes first. Okay, then comes birds, then comes reptiles, then comes amphibians, and then come mammals. That way should know that some arrangement in your mind. See this, and same interesting thing, insects are in vast numbers. In the invertebrates, insect are in vast number. 3/4 of that population is occupied by insect only. Okay, then comes more crustaceans, mollusks, and other animal groups. Same in plants. If you take, you can see this angiosperms are the flowering plants. Okay, so they are the highest portion of plants, flowering plant. They are occupying the major portion. Equivalent to them is the fungi. Fungi and angiosperms, you can see they are occupying a larger portion in the plant kingdom. This way, the diagram is very interesting. You can keep this, so you will never forget. You can read and then store it in your mind. Come to the next thing. So come to the patterns of biodiversity. See this latitudinal gradient. So this already we have discussed in lower classes also, but here also they have given the same thing. The diversity of plants and animals is not uniform throughout the world. It shows uneven distribution. So that means the species diversity decreases as we move away from the equator towards the poles. This was asked in UPSC already. Okay, and then even if you are taking latitude also, a forest. So they have given examples for this particular statement. They are giving these examples. Then come to the next statement. So the reasons they have given, certain reasons, hypothesis, they're deriving a solution, like a reason for why the distribution is like this. So they have told that these are some of the reasons. It's a hypothesis, it's not a thesis. It is yet to be proved. So it's not that much important. Then come to the next portion. This is importance of species diversity. So why we require diversity within the species? No, so why it is important? Why biodiversity is important? That is a question. That is how they are asking this question. Why? What is the reason of biodiversity, and what is the functions the biodiversity perform? For that they have given this. So you can mark one point one by one. See, communities with more species generally tend to be more stable than those with less species. Number one. So they may ask in different form. What are the functions of biodiversity? What are the functional role performed by the biodiversity? Why we need biodiversity? This way the question can come in any format. Then they will give 1, 2, 3, 4 statements. Choose which are the right option from above. They will give like this. Okay. So what that stability of the community. So why they are giving that point? They're explaining that also. Stable community should not to show too much variation productivity from year to year. It must be either resistant or resilient to disturbances, and it must also be resistant to invasions of alien species. So read this. Okay, so we are saying that biodiversity is important for stability. This much only they would have written in any book if you are taking. So they are giving a reason why we are saying that a biodiversity will bring a stable community. The reason is all these things. Okay, so read it, and then see this. We know that rich biodiversity is not only essential for ecosystem health, but it is also imperative for the very survival of the human race on this planet. So this is another importance which of the biodiversity. Then come to the next thing, next paragraph. Okay. That's it. They are not given much information. Even one of the lower classes books, I have seen that they are giving much more details for the importance of biodiversity. We are having a topic, no, biodiversity. Everywhere they are giving what is the reason, importance we can get from the biodiversity. Okay. Yes. Then loss of biodiversity. Why it is happening? So this they are given certain information like how many organisms has went lost from the environment. The reasons, the causes of biodiversity losses. They're calling this as evil quartet. Okay, so first reason is habitat loss and fragmentation is main reason. Even in India, also lot of species are facing this problem. Habitat loss. We are taking its habitat from them. We are developing certain projects. We are completely doing deforestation. They are not able to live there. They move into the places where we are living, and we try to kill them, hunt them down. Okay, so this is what which is happening. So even lot of examples are there for the fragmentation issues. Even the great Indian bustard, you can see that bird. Okay, so then even like the Nilgiri Thar, the main reason is fragmentation only. Habitat loss is another main reason for that. So same way, come to the next, over exploitation is another reason. Over exploitation. Okay, so when we are trying to completely exploit the food and other byproducts which is given by the particular, community or particular population, then there also they go extinct. Then come to this one, alien species invasion, and that's why they given this example. Stella sea cow, passenger pigeon, and all. It's exploited in an enormous way. Okay, so where they are completely, killing the lot of fishes. No, even dolphins are hunted down, poached. Not only that, whales are also poached. Okay, so fish varieties, over exploitation, overfishing is happening. The same way animals also. So that's the reason. Then come to alien species invasion. Um, this is another reason for extinction of the species when these aliens are introduced deliberately. So they will cause decline of extinction of indigenous species. Already we have seen that because it induces competition. It steals every resources from all the resources required by the native species, and then they are completely killing that native trees. Okay, so this way, this is another reason. Another co-extinction. So this is also another reason we can say that becomes the species become extinct. The plant and the animal species associated with it also becomes extinct. So I already told some fig you take, fig and wasp, there is a relationship. Now if this wasp is extinct, it dies out or it is no more, then what happens? The fig will also disappear from the world. Or if the fig disappears, man is keep on deforesting and is completely killing that community, then the particular wasp which relies on that fig also will die. Right. Now this come to these are all reasons for conserving the biodiversity. No need to go this much depth. See this, but actually when I was reading this, okay, so I was also skipping this particular part. But here you can see the pollination. Fruit, seeds is another service ecosystem provides through pollinators layer, bees, bumblebees, birds, bats. This was asked as a question. We have already seen that, no, like in the interaction unit, I told you the pollination. Already we have seen about pollination, but that they did not give example. Here they have given an example in this particular line. This was asked in the question in 2012. This was a question which came in UPSC. Okay, so they gave three options: bees, birds, bats. Like this, there was an option, and everything is right only in that case. Okay, so then come to this. How do we conserve biodiversity? Read everything. So in this insight to conservation, not much information is there, but it will be also a helpful information for you. So in situ and ex situ. What's meant by in situ? Okay, so in situ, they are saying that inside, where that particular organism is living, because it cannot live outside. Endemic species which belong to that particular area will be conserved there only. Okay, so that is called as in situ. So here, as you can see, this. Yes, biodiversity hotspot regions, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries. Okay, we are, accomplishing something, some areas we are designating as national parks, wildlife sanctuary, biosphere reserves, biodiversity hotspots. All are the main reason is in situ conservation only. For that purpose only we are doing it. Okay, so then come to the next thing. Just know about the names. You have to surf and make notes. Biodiversity hotspots means what? Already we have done. So you also should do here. And then come to the, see this biosphere reserves, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries. All these are form of in situ conservation only. Then even sacred groves also is a kind of in situ conservation, okay, which is existing. Starting from the Western Ghats to the Northeastern Himalayas, there are sacred groves. Then ex situ conservation means in this, the threatened animals and plants are taken out from their natural habitat and placed in a special setting where they can be protected and given special care. For that, the best example is zoological parks, zoo, and botanical gardens. Okay, even wildlife safari parks where we are taking the animal from the natural habitat, putting it in one place in an enclosure or in a specific area, then we are protecting them. So this is called as ex situ conservation. Even plants also the same. That is why botanical gardens are there. Okay. Right. Now, gametes has been of the threatened species as can be preserved in a viable and fertile condition. So, for longer periods using cryopreservation techniques. So, previously we used to take the animal, then put there in the particular place and then protect them. Now, instead of that, animal and plants, they are taking the gametes from them. They are preserving them through cryopreservation techniques. Okay. Right. And so other than that, they have given the historic convention, that is biodiversity, CBD only. Already we have seen this. And I also asked you to make notes. The one and only convention for biodiversity is CBD only. Convention for biological diversity. There is a convention. So here there is no proper information. No sufficient information is here. So you can just refer on your own. That's it. But only topics you can take from here. So because repeatedly questions will be asked from this convention only, since it's the only convention for the biological diversity. Done? So although there are a lot of laws, rules and regulations and acts which has bearing on the biodiversity, the one convention which is mainly exclusively there for protecting the biodiversity is Convention on Biological Diversity only. Done. So this way we have discussed, we have seen that what are the areas which you have to focus and how the questions are appearing for UPSC. As you can see repeatedly, what are the areas which is coming in your book? I am again compiling it, as you can see, starting from the general information related to environment. They have started like that. Then they have given importance for other things like, the vegetation, biodiversity, ecosystem definition, ecosystem classification, types of ecosystem, starting from terrestrial, grassland, deserts, like this it goes on. No, we have discussed. Only aquatic ecosystem has not been described properly here. Then the energy flow, food chain, food web, pyramids. Okay, so even succession, there was a small part, but that's not elaborate discussion about succession. Adaptations, interactions, we have seen. So these are all repeatedly coming in your question paper. Apart from that, the biodiversity and biodiversity conservation, another area. So biodiversity, we know what are the animals which are present here. Either it's an animal or a mammal. These types of questions choose to come. So that and all is not elaborately discussed in your school books. Okay, so they have given biodiversity and the conservation method. Then comes the climate change chapters. They are also not sufficient information for us to read here. So in the climate change and pollution, which is connected together, you will be coming, all those questions which comes are related to the global warming, acidification, these types of questions. What are the factors which are leading to it, and how can you rectify it? What are the conventions which are available? These types of questions are coming. Okay, and then even there was a small part related to agriculture and its conservation, climate smart agriculture techniques. Same. You have to do in an elaborate manner there. Okay, so they have given just an introduction through these NCRTs. So read it and get benefit from it. And certain statements are very important related to that. And then now we are going to see the question classifications. Okay, so the question answers. Another half an hour that we have to take a quiz for the so far what the NCRTs we have done, we have to take quiz, right? So now we are going to start that. Yes. So now we will be starting the quiz. So for this, yes, I think this will be good. Now, yes, this will be good. So we'll go with this color. So now I'm going to start the quiz. So we'll discuss question by question, like so far what and all we have done. So before that, you know that Sriram is on an academy platform now. So here the batch starts on July 13th also. So please join with us to get benefit from studying with the best faculties. Then come to the question answer session. So we can see at most, I have prepared around 11 questions for you. Let us see if time permits, we will see the 11, all the 11. Okay, otherwise you can download the document. You can also see on your own. See, the first question is, consider the following. Most of all the questions is completely is from the NCRTs only. I have made a very simple questions, right? So the consider the following statements. The question is like this. The natural and human-made phenomena which surrounds any organisms makes up its environment. This statement number 1. Second statement, the biosphere includes all the living components of the earth, like all plants and animals, including all the microorganisms that live on the planet Earth and their interactions with the surrounding environment. And third statement, on 5th June every year, the World Environment Day is celebrated. Okay, so consider which of the above is or are correct about the environment. Can you say? Can you please give the answer for this? Yes. So, as you can see, the natural and human-made phenomena which surrounds any organisms makes up its environment. Makes up its environment. So, this is right only. Then the answer you can just post me, okay? So, the biosphere includes all the living components of the earth, like the plants and animals. Yes, you can just post your answers, okay? So, I can also check. Yeah, good evening, Amarjit Kumar. Sorry, I have not seen that. Very good evening. Huh? So yes, so you can just post the answer for these things. And the biosphere includes all the living components of the earth, like all plants and animals, including all the microorganisms that live, okay, on the planet Earth and the interactions with the surrounding environment. This is also right. Hmm? Then come to the third statement. And 5th June every year, the World Environment Day is celebrated. This is also right. All are in your NCRTs only. All the statements are from your NCRTs only. All are right. Okay. So now I can say that which of the above are correct related to environment? Then the answer will be very good. Akansha Sharma has given the answer. Very good. It's D. Right. Now come to the next question. Consider the following statements. Gangetic river dolphin, a variety of dolphin locally called susu, okay, also called as blind dolphin, is found in the fresh waters of river Ganga only. Let us see who is going to say the right answer for this question. Huh? So this is first statement. Second statement is the presence of susu is an indication of the health of the river. Third statement, the untreated industrial and urban waste with a high amount of chemicals are killing this species and puts them in the endangered category. And the fourth statement, the Ministry of Environment and Forest notified the Ganges River dolphin as the national aquatic animal in 2010. So there are four statements. Now we are asking a question. How many of the above statements is or are correct? Like last year there were mostly the environment questions were in this pattern only. One only, two only, three only, four only, like that they were asking the questions. No. So be careful and tell me like how many of the above statements are right. Okay. Yes. Any of you? Any answers? Just I'll give 5 minutes, not 5 minutes. 5 minutes is too much time, no? So let us give, count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm so fast. And you can see this, yeah, very good, Akansha. Answer is 3 only. 3 only. That is why this is wrong. This statement is wrong. Why this statement is wrong? Can you tell why this statement is wrong? Because it is found in the fresh waters of river Ganga, comma, Brahmaputra, comma, Meghna. Okay. Not only that, in India, this is in India. Okay. Meghna. Right. And also in Karnapauli rivers of Nepal, we can find this particular organism. So this is wrong in this particular statement in this question. Okay. Got it. Now move to the next question. Which of the below could be considered as eco-friendly agricultural practices as it helps in water and soil conservation? Okay, water and soil conservation. Number 1, mulching. 2, intercropping. 3, terrace farming. And 4, rock dam. Choose the right option. So we have given the options. You can just take your time. Give me the answer. See this, after like we are doing this 11 questions, if there is a bit time, there is another chapter which I like to share with you. If there is a time, we'll do that. Okay. Yes. So which will be the right option for this case? Anybody who likes to try? Yes. Can I give the answer then? See this, mulching. Mulching, already we have discussed in maybe the 8th standard NCERT or something, I remember. Mulching, I told you. It's all our eco-friendly techniques or practices only. We are following in agricultural practices. See, even though I am taken from NCERT, I have made all the questions based on the current trend of UPSC pattern only. Okay, the questions are not simply like, very unnecessary question or very basic questions. No, I have never done that. You can go and compare all these questions which I have taken is in certain format, in certain pattern I have taken it, which will be helpful for you. So come to this particular question. Yes, mulching. Yeah, she has given number 1. Only mulching. See, mulching is right. And also everything is right here. Mulching is something like where we are good at. Kanshai. Option is A. 1, 2, 3. Okay, rock dam, you are doubtful. I'll explain how. So, um, huh. Yes, Ravin Sharma, that's right. It looks easy, but the thing is that you have to follow the right pattern. Then it becomes you can easily exclude the wrong answer, and then you can attempt in the exams. The reason is that that it looks very simple as it looks here. But the questions, as you go and sit in the examination hall, it is mixed up with your fear, your confusion, everything. Then you cannot properly, answer to those questions. But it is so easy when you follow the previous year question paper. That's why I already told you, students, you have to check the old question paper. Okay, you have to keep in touch with the old question paper. You have to see what type of questions are appearing in your exams. Unnecessarily don't study everything and dump it in your mind. Then you will never remember anything. So those areas which they are giving importance, do it again and again. And if it comes in the newspaper, definitely go run away, take it, make a note about it. Okay. So come to this. Here, mulching we know. Mulching means like, covering the land, open land with certain organic items like dead leaves, all those things. Intercropping means in between so what it will do, mulching is why it is considered as eco-friendly practice, because it is reducing the water usage. Because transpiration, water usage is reduced due to less transpiration, less evaporation. Then intercropping also, it helps in rotation of nutrients is taking place. As we know, like when we are planting the crops, different varieties of crops, one crop, then next another different variety, then another crop like leguminous plant along with the rice variety. If you're doing it, then the form is completely the nutrients in the farm or the soil is rotated. So this way it is also a eco-friendly practices only, because there is not required of chemical fertilizers or chemical substances to enhance the fertility. Then come terrace farming. We already studied about this. So in the hill areas, in order to avoid the soil erosion and water, just flowing down and removing the topsoil, fertile soil, we are using terrace farming. Again, the fertility usage will be less, as chemical fertilizers and all will not be used in this case of terrace farming. Same only rock dam also, using certain, stones, gravels. We are constructing certain check dam type of small constructions using hand. We are doing it. If you are going to the hilly areas, you would have definitely noticed this. So what happens, the water which is coming in the greater speed when you're putting rock dam, so it will slow down, and then it will not remove the fertile topsoil from the slopes. Okay, so that's why all these are eco-friendly practices only, because it is also helping in soil conservation and water conservation. So we can say answer is D for this question. Answer is D. So come to the next question. Fourth question. These are the most widespread forest in India, and they are also called the monsoon forest. They spread over regions which receive rainfall between 70 to 200 centimeter. These forests are well known for its parkland landscape with open stretches in which teak and other trees interspersed with patches of grass are common. Which of the below forest is described here? See, this type of question has appeared twice. And even in case of biodiversity, almost 3 times they have asked this type of question. They will describe about something to us. Okay, they will describe about, all those things. They will give a description. Then they will ask from below which suits the above description. In the case of forest also, they have given twice, thrice we have faced this kind of question. With related to biodiversity also, they will even one time about Karai camel, they were giving these things. So even Indian wild ass, we faced a question like this in UPSC. So you can go to the last 10 years question itself. We are finding a lot of questions. Before that also, we are having a lot of questions in the same pattern. So I have made one question in the same pattern. Now we are going to answer this question. Yes, what will be the answer for this question? Anybody? Yes, you can try it out. Yeah, very good, very good. Very good, Akansha. So she is following the NCERT, yeah, very tightly, I think. Very good. So see this, the most widespread forest of India. Moment you see this term, so this way UPSC will give a clue. When they're asking this kind of question, they will give a clue like this with this type of statement. Okay. So you should immediately jump and then you have to know, okay, I am in the safe side. So I know the statement, and this statement belongs to this particular forest. So mostly if you have studied that line, you know that it is tropical. I was also saying every time when I'm reading the forest area, I was telling you that the tropical deciduous forest is the most widespread forest in the India, and we also have a picture of map showing that. So you would have definitely known about it, right? Now, sorry. So then you see this, the next statement. They are also called the monsoon forest, and this specifically there was there in one NCERT alone. They have given another name for that forest. They spread over the regions which receive rainfall between 70 to 200 centimeters. This also, if you have read, then you definitely know about it. And another important unique character is parkland landscape. This also I was discussing with you. And which teak is the dominant species there? Then now it is concluded. Yeah, what I have decided is the right answer only. After reading all this statement, you can confirm and you say this is tropical deciduous forest. That is the answer. Very good. So come to the next question. Arrange the below biosphere reserves according to the descending order of their size. Okay, so this is a bit tough question. You cannot answer immediately, but you can guess though. See this kind of question also will do appear. They will ask to arrange in case of the forest survey of India. They will take that related to the forest, based on the percentage of area covered in the particular state, they will give arrange according to that in the descending order you arrange. This way and all questions will come. So in this question, can anyone guess what will be the right answer for this question? So if you have done it, you have already done the biosphere reserve. So if you have done there is only 18 biosphere reserves. And when you are studying, I already told you how you have to study the table. Now I will say, even though you would have not listened previously, just listen now. When you're doing a tiger reserve, or when you're doing a biosphere reserve, when you're doing a national park, if you're about to do it, if you want to do the entire list, I don't know that I can never say that all that 557 wildlife sanctuaries which are existing, you can do it. But 106 national parks are there. If you wish, if you want to do it, and if you have the tempo, then you can do it. But in case of biosphere reserve, there is only 18. You do everything. So if we are doing, how will you do it? It's just like that. You read that data which is given in the table and go. No, don't ever do that. How you have to do it? You have to see the year when it was declared as a biosphere reserve. One time there was a question like that with related to national park. They were asking based on the year they asked to arrange. Okay, so same only it applies to biosphere reserves also. See in which year the declaration came. Okay, so in 1986 or 1990 or 1992, that way, in that order, you can arrange. You can make one column like that. Based on the year, you can arrange the 18 biosphere reserves. Second, based on the area. So then you will come to know which has the largest area in the biosphere reserve. Very good, Akansha. So the answer is A only, right? So based on the area, you can arrange. Then third thing, as I told you, what are the tiger reserves which are present in the particular biosphere reserve? Okay, what are the national parks if it is present inside? If there is any wildlife sanctuary present inside, you can make a big table like that. Then you can write everything. Either you can take the biosphere reserve. You can take one biosphere reserve, like for example, Gulf of Mannar. Gulf of Mannar, then you can write in which year it has been. Already in the table it will be there. How much area it is having. Okay, then you can also write what are the things which are present inside that particular biosphere reserve. Or you can make a separate table for each thing, then you can arrange accordingly. Okay, so the answer is one only because Kutch is the biggest one. Then comes the Gulf of Mannar. Then comes the Sundarbans. Then come the Nilgiris. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Hello, Raj. Yes. Hello, Raj. So we can move to the next question. Consider the following statements. The first statement is volcanic eruption throws up lots of aerosols into the atmosphere and thus considered as a source of climate change. That's the first statement. Yes. What doubt do you have? Yes, Raj. The primary greenhouse gases of concern today are carbon dioxide, chlorofluorocarbons, methanes, nitrous oxide, and ozone. The third one, the Kyoto Protocol, which came into effect in 2005, is considered as the most important international efforts that have been initiated for reducing the emissions of greenhouse gas into the atmosphere. Which of the above statements is or are not correct? That is the question. Which of the above statements is or are not correct? Okay, so you can give the answer. So the first statement also is there, 2 also, 3 also. Those who want to try, please try it. Then give me the answer for this question. Yes. Any answer? Should I solve? So this also made in the pattern of very good. Akansa has given the answer. So she has said 2 only. Why it is 2 only? Why you felt it is 2 only? Hmm? So see this, good. At least she has given some answer, good. But this statement is also right. This statement is also right. This statement is also right. These are casually they have given certain statements. It's not completely, they have not said only. If there is only, then you have to be very careful. But they have said these are some of the greenhouse gases which are of main concern. Then the Kyoto Protocol, which came into effect in 2005, is considered as the most important international effort. It's right only. Come to the first statement, volcanic eruption. This is a natural cause of climate change. Natural cause. Okay. Yes, natural cause. Yes, Akansa, yeah. Yeah, that's why I thought you might have doubted the first statement only. The volcanic eruption is acting as a good. Sometimes it happens, but it is directly lifted from the NCERT. That's why I lifted the statement. When you're going to NCERT related to climate change, there is only one NCERT we have seen, no, in the climate change related with respect to the climate change. There, the statement was directly given. Volcanic eruption is the major natural cause of climate change. Okay, because it will split a lot of aerosols into the atmosphere and immediately it changes the climate. Okay, so now come to the next question. Which of the below is considered as functional role of biodiversity? Functional role of biodiversity. That means the function of biodiversity. Okay. So first statement related to that is capturing and storing energy, produce and decompose organic materials, help to cycle water and nutrients, reservoir of resources, helps in scientific study. Which of the above is or are correct? Let us see What is the right answer for this question? Yes. You can try, students. You can give me the answers? Yes. Yes, Raj. C. So you're saying that C is the right answer. Very good, Akansha. Yes, very good, Raj. C is the right answer. C is the right answer. As you can see that every functions is performed by biodiversity, starting from the capturing and storing energy and producing and decomposing the organic materials, cycling the nutrients, cycling the water. Okay, and it's also acting as a reservoir of resources, and it also helps in scientific study. As we said, like lot of medicines, a lot of the roles, even evolution, how it is taking place is checked from this, the biodiversity only. Okay, so this is right, very right. Very good. Go to the next question. Consider the following. So, first statement is biome, plant, and animal community that covers. Yes, Raj. Thank you. We will continue with our discussion. So, plant and animal community that covers a large geographical area, biome, and food chain, the interconnecting network of species, that is food chain, habitat, the totality of the physical and chemical factors that constitute the general environment, and ecology, a scientific study of the interactions of organisms with their physical environment and with each other. How many of the above statement is or are correctly matched? So now you have to give me the answer. You have to give me the answer. So please try and come out with the answers. Very good. Akansha has given the answer. Akansha, you have to take some time. Maybe like after seeing this thing, you may predicted that everything is right. Okay, so that is some tricky trick here. Just watch closely and then give me the answer. Yes, you all have given D, but there is some wrong here. Huh? See this. Biome is right. Biome is right. I have lifted the statements directly. See, this types of questions are also coming in your UPSC, not in the pattern of match the following, but they are asking like, yes, Raj is given the right answer. Three only. Okay, see, I'll explain. The reason is that, this type of questions will come that they will give the description about that particular term. Then they will ask which of the below term suits that particular description. Or what they will do, they will give the term and they will ask a proper definition about the term. So you have to be always ready. Huh? So in this, the first term and the statement related to the first term is right. Come to the second one, food chain. See this interconnecting network of species. So this is not the proper definition for food chain. Okay. So it's something like where one gets eaten by the another. If it is the network of species which is interconnected with one another, then that is called as food web. Okay. Food web. Right. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Very good, Raj. Then the habitat, this is also the right statement. Ecology, this is also the right statement. Now come to the answer is C. Okay, the answer is C. Come to the next question. Which of the below act as source of carbon in the atmosphere? So this looks simple, but it's also a bit tough, I can say. So there is three options. One is respiration by animals. Second is assimilation by plants. Three is decomposition of dead matter. Okay, which of the above is or are correct? So now you can take your time. Just give me the answer. Let me see. Like, can you guess it right or not? Anybody? Yes. Okay. So let me guess this answer. Let me give this answer for the question. See this. The source of carbon in the atmosphere. They're not saying that how the carbon is taken from the atmosphere, how the carbon is released into the atmosphere. The first statement is right. Respiration by animals is right. Yes, Raj, please ask it out. Respiration by animals is right. Then come to the next statement, assimilation by plants. Respiration by plants is right. If plants respiring and giving out the carbon dioxide, they do in during converting the energy which they are storing, no, the carbohydrates, food, when it is converted into energy, that is sugar, then they release out the carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. But assimilation is something like where plants absorb everything from the environment for preparing its food. For example, photosynthesis, how it prepares its food? Photosynthesis. They synthesize their food. So for that, they will take light, that is solar radiation, okay, from sun, incoming solar radiation they will take. Then they will take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. They will intake the carbon dioxide and water, okay, from the atmospheres. So that is intake of carbon dioxide. Yeah, Raj, you tell me what is your doubt. Yes, please ask your doubt. So this is wrong. Assimilation by plants is wrong, but decomposition of dead matter, because when an organism die and then it is decomposed, then they release out the carbon dioxide, right? Right. So this way I can say that this too is the right answer. And so come and see that which is the right option. C is the right option. Okay, C is the right option for this. Yes. Then the 10th question is, which of the below is not considered as an example of commensalism? So this also, nowadays I told you that in case of interactions, we are seeing that nowadays the questions are appearing with related interactions. Okay. So now we will go to that, this kind of, but so far this way they have not asked the question, but they have asked in depth related to certain interaction. They will give example from that interaction. Then they will ask you to choose the right answers. So then first A. See the A statement, the cuckoo bird laying eggs in the crow's nest. Okay, this is commensalism, right? Commensalism. So you have to see each and every statement here. Then you have to check what is meant by commensalism. I hope already you would have read about commensalism. Now you compare this example with the commensalism. Then you can say which is not considered as an example of commensalism. That is our question. So the cuckoo bird laying egg in crow's nest, the cattle egret and grazing cattle in close association, an orchid growing as an epiphytes on a mangrove branch, interaction between sea anemone and stinging tentacles, and the clownfish that lives among them. Okay. So now please give me your answers. So there are 4 statements A, B, C, D, which is the right statement. That is, which is not a commensalism. Okay. Which is not considered as commensalism, or which is not considered as an example of commensalism, right? Yes. Anybody? Anybody, can you answer this question? Yes. Yes. Any answer? Can you, any of you going to try this? Okay, fine. See this. Everything is from the NCERT only. And today only we discuss this. I hope if you have listened, then you definitely know. Sea anemone, which is having a stinging tentacles, and a clownfish. Here, clownfish gets benefit, but sea anemone does not get benefit. What is commensalism? One get benefit, other does not get anything. That is why I am putting 0 here. One gets benefit, other do not get any benefit. So that is commensalism. Okay. So here, sea anemone do not get any benefit from clownfish, but clownfish gets benefit from sea anemone. Orchid gets benefit from a mango because it is living on the mango tree. Okay, through since it is located in the mango tree, it is getting access to sunlight. So an orchid which is growing as an epiphyte on the mango tree is getting benefit. That is positive. But mango tree do not get any benefit from the orchid. Come to the cattle egret. Cattle egret is getting benefit from the cattle because when the cattle walks, the insects fly. So that way they get benefit. But the cattle do not get any benefit from the cattle egret. Cuckoo bird laying egg in the crow's nest. It's brood parasitism. It is not commensalism. It is brood parasitism. Okay, brood parasitism. Right? Yes. Come to the last question. With that, we'll be ending the session. Consider the following statements. First statement, checking soil erosion and denudation in the catchment areas of rivers, lakes, reservoirs in the interest of soil and water conservation. Second, checking the extension of sand dunes in the desert areas of Rajasthan and along the coastal tracts. third statement, increasing the productivity of forest to meet essential national needs. Okay, there are three statements. Which of the above is or are objectives of National Forest Policy 1988? Now you have to give the answer. So I have given three statements. So this way also they are asking question. They will be giving the objectives of the particular act. Okay. Even one time about the Environment Protection Act, you got the question. About certain policies, they will give the objectives or the highlighting points or the saline features of it will be given. Then they will ask you which of the above are correct. Same way, since there was National Forest Policy 1988 and year-wise classification also, I have given a statement from the National Forest Policy. And now, what's the answer? Can any of you guess? Yes? Yeah. Yes, yes. Can any of you guess? I hope nobody is ready to answer that question. That will be D. D is the right answer. Huh? D is the right answer. So, yes, students. Okay, good. So now it's a time we are winding up the classes. All the best for your preparations. As you can see, the NCERTs are basics to begin with. Okay, so you begin the journey to your UPSC. The journey to your UPSC is begins with NCERTs because what you have done in your school days is always focused in your UPSC exams also. Not only this, all the NCERTs take geography, history, everything. You have to make a foundation. That foundation you can do with the help of the NCERTs only. Okay, so that only we are arranged NCERT classes for you, and I hope you all would have benefited from it, and you would have also enjoyed traveling with us. Okay, from Sriram's IAS. So bye from my side, and take care, and we'll meet again with some other sessions. Thank you all.